Greetings, this is Helium Lemon 15. Welcome to Donkey Kong Country, part 15. Now, we're back in this level, Elevator Antics. The last video started with this level as well, but we're just going back looking for the secrets, and I died a lot trying to find these secrets, but anyway, we're just kind of trying to have fun. So how's everybody doing? I love these cave levels in these games. This is, one of those... Oh, I missed it. No, wait a second. I didn't miss it. It's right here. Okay. So, avoid the bees. And then you go over here, and then I missed it. And then... and then avoid the bees some more. And then... Ugh. Come on, okay. I'm getting impatient with myself. Come on, play the game already. No, I'm kidding. And I did that. I'm so bad at that. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's too slow. But as you'll see, I'll do the same couple of things a couple times. I should stop doing that. I should stop being as you see. This is a post-commentary video, so I know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know. This was fun to edit, but it was mainly just cutting out a bunch of deaths. I'm kind of falling in love with 16-bit era games recently. I don't know. I'm kind of wishing that I had played some of the classic 16-bit era RPGs. I don't know. Just because I guess it's through a weird combination of things, trying to find positivity during this time has made me think about what do I have to be grateful for, and I'm well, sometimes just thinking about video games and remembering how awesome they are. Well, more specifically going back to video game soundtracks and listening to them as a way to kind of bring back good memories. But I talked about this more in the Desolate Hope video. And also just YouTube does funny things because it recommends certain videos, and sometimes it's YouTube, the YouTube algorithm just works in a totally mysterious way. Let's watch this again. I keep hoping to pull back and catch the barrel. It never happened. But there's this channel that's called Taya77 or something vaguely like that. And it uploads videos of classic game soundtracks that are usually Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 and Chrono Trigger. I like that, where it showed 3 little explosions. And it will upload a screenshot of the game, but it's just the game's art, just the game's background, and it's zoomed out really far. So it's really kind of mysterious, and then it doesn't even well, if you don't speak Japanese, you would never know what game it's from, but people know the game. But the video titles are just in Japanese, but they're these 15-minute loops of songs something from Chrono Trigger and then a bunch of songs from Donkey Kong Country, Life in the Mines, Sticker Brush Symphony, etc., etc. And I love just seeing the people that congregate on those videos, who's here because of random YouTube recommendations. And then it just makes me think of all the Super Mario World hack soundtracks that I like, and then the Donkey Kong Country games, and then Secret of Evermore, and then games well, I never played Secret of Evermore, and I never played Chrono Trigger, but I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of how much Nintendo Capri Sun I used to watch, I guess. So funny enough, though, a lot of the games that are most nostalgic for me are at least for listening to their soundtrack, for the purposes of listening to their soundtrack are games like Lost Winds and like Endless Ocean Blue World and like Broken Age, which are slightly more recent than like Secret of Evermore and Donkey Kong Country. But you know. Still, I love this song. The timing on that first vulture always gets me by surprise. I always do it a little bit too early. So yeah, these songs on Donkey Kong Country were compressed to oh, you know what another great 16-bit soundtrack is Plock, and basically any soundtrack by Tim Fallon, but I digress. These songs were compressed from the original version, so I think it's so cool that like people upload the original version onto YouTube, like they by jury rigging the samples. Now, I don't know how they do it. I'd have to understand the technology a little bit better. But like people like Jam and Sam Miller just upload the original versions of the songs from these games, and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing just to, you know, take a step back from the game and actually appreciate these compositions in their original form. Like this song in particular has this kind of like little high piano thing that's always there in the background throughout the whole song, but it's way too soft in the actual game. We failed that one because I didn't know the timing. Anyway, I timed his iframes wrong. Iframes, look at me, I'm talking like a speedrunner, except I'm not a speedrunner. Iframes, look at these swaggy strats. Donkey Kong Country is just one of those like games where it's fun to just like play through it and just show off and be like, hey, this is where I'm really swaggy. Look at me, I'm a very swaggy player because I can do cool things and I can jump over enemies. So I don't know. Yeah. Stupid vulture. We're not allowed in the system. That guy still never falls. I wonder about that. Con. So, I've been getting back into Gentle Giant a little bit lately. Kong! We got it. We're so good at this game. And actually, I can't remember what it's called right now, but there's a video game that the keyboardist of Gentle Giant actually wrote the soundtrack for. It's some like it's kind of like a stereotypical like 80s fantasy game, but still, like, how cool is that? Like, Gentle Giant is just like kind of a legendary band just for being cool and for having really unique, complex compositions. And I want to do something like that. I'm getting sick of classical music, except, I don't know, not really. How you're supposed to know that that is down there? And I saved my jump. I don't know how I saved my jump. I was about to roll off the platform there. Yeah. Gentle Giant is so cool. Is it 'cause they're British? Maybe. But yeah, my heroes are still like Spike Jonze and Captain Beefheart. At least Spike Jonze has been one of my heroes since I was like 7. And then Captain Beefheart, I decided that he was one of my heroes like maybe a year and a half ago. So, what did that say? 82%? I love how flirtatious Candy Kong is being. She's being flirtatious towards the both of us, which is silly because isn't she supposed to be Donkey Kong's girlfriend? And then Candy Kong comes back in Donkey Kong 64, and then she like saves the day because like she distracts King K. Rool at the very end. Here's a little passage. Huh. Okay. I love this song too. Da 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 da. Anyway, I stopped being able to sing along to it. The minecart song in Donkey Kong Country 2 is clearly based off of Nine on Bald Mountain. But this is not Donkey Kong Country 2, and I actually don't own that game. I own 1 and 3, which might surprise people because like they're like, oh, DKC2 is the best, and like, oh gee. So DKC2 might be the best, but I still am not sure that I want it, and I can't tell you my reasons for that, except that I kind of, I don't know, I like underdog games, and so that's kind of why I decided to get 3 rather than 2. So I'm just weird though. But there was like a hot second where I was like going to get Donkey Kong Country 2 on the Wii Virtual Console, and then I saw that it had been taken off, and then I freaked out and I was so sad. And then like flash forward a year or two, and all 3 of them are available on the Wii U Virtual Console. So I don't know what happened there. That was a fun level, and I feel like that minecart level is actually kind of easier than some of the minecart levels earlier in the game. Although, I don't know. Are there any more... Is that the last minecart level or not? I can't remember. 80%. Okay. So, I can't remember if that's the last minecart level. Oh, and I haven't played any of the Donkey Kong Country Returns games. I mean, I have a Wii U, so I could get Tropical Freeze if I wanted. But that's a game that's just nice to look at. Like, and I know, like, back in the day, I was like a hardcore, like, graphics don't matter, only nostalgia matters, and being super, like, obsessed and like absurd about it. And now I'm like, oh yeah, well it's fun to play a game with good graphics, like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey or something. Some of those games are just fun to watch. It's like, I don't care if I play it, as long as I can go on YouTube and watch like HD videos that look like lip smacking good, and you can see like trees in very high quality definition. That came out weirdly, but I wanted it too, so I'm not... Anyway, so long as you can go on YouTube and look at the game rather than playing it, that's good enough for me. No, I don't know. But yes, I am glad that they're making games like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. I'm glad. These animal tokens are yellow, so they remind me of cheese. Kind of. I don't know. I'm hungry. I want some cheese right now. It's... One of the hardest parts about this quarantine, I feel like, is that my family doesn't really have lunch together. And so I always have to have my own lunch and kind of like have like several snacks in a row. And it always feels hard for me. I never really feel satisfied. And I think the fact that we just don't all have separate... We all have separate lunches is because, like, Dad's a private school teacher, so he goes to bed early and gets up early, and my mom is much more of a night owl, so, and is a big reader, even bigger of a reader than me, so she stays up pretty late. Like, she goes to bed at like 1 and then gets up late, so I guess she just has a later lunch. But yeah, I just miss having lunch together as a family. And then I miss like being in school, cause like if I was in school, I would just go over to the halal cart no problem and get this like huge, you know, falafel sandwich that's really satisfying, and it's only $6. So here's the last secret in Minecart Madness, and we did the same thing again. I think this level is called Minecart. Yeah, it is. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Donkey Kong Country.